Welcome to the Prescott Home Value Report through June 2023, brought to you by the Prescott Pickle Lady Diane Bro Realtor. As you probably can tell, I am not the Pickle Lady. That's me in the bottom right-hand corner. The Pickle Lady has authorized me to show you the following slides, so let's get started. As always, we start with home prices in the city of Prescott. This is median sales price per square foot. Each dot is the result for a given month, and the red line is this year, the blue is last year. As you can see, we are almost neck and neck with last year. This is the, I've been saying it for a year now. I think things are flat. Every now and then we get these little bumps. Things have been flat for some time, and then in January we started rising just like we did last January. We had a little anomaly last month. I called it as an anomaly last year when we had us. We should not be going up, and in fact the very next month it popped back down. We did not do that this year. Things have just still stayed flat. Now we are within 3% of the sales price per square foot for last year, given last year was after all of the COVID appreciation. That is just fine. So prices are doing really quite well. And as always, we're expecting not as always, but for the time being, we're expecting the price per square to stay flat. We might have a little trouble in September because there was a blip in September, but for the most part, flat, and we're going to be flat again this year. Looking at volumes, look at that. So we have been hearing reports all over the country that transaction volumes are lower than we would expect given last year, lower than we would expect in a given year. We are actually a little bit above where we were last year in the month of June. So we have closed the gap. This was 40%. We got down to 30%. We're within 20. I think that was like 9 or so. Now we are actually a percent or two above the transaction volume for last year in the city of Prescott. So we are really doing quite fine. In Prescott Valley, same analysis, median price per square foot. They have just been flat. Again, flat this month, and we are within 5% of the sales price per square foot. Last year, I think last month we were 6, now we're 5. It's going to bounce around in there, I think, for the rest of the year. Transaction volumes are still running, I think this is 22%, 24% lower than we expect, just shy of 100 last year. And you can see where we are this year. So yeah, about 25% still lower, but closing the gap. So we're doing pretty well in PV as well. So you may ask, do we have a buyer's market, a seller's market? Well, the way we answer that question is what we call our pending ratio analysis. So we're back to Prescott, the city of Prescott. There were 595 homes on the market in the month of June. Actually, that's up 40 homes. That's almost 10%. So our inventory in Prescott is marching up. It has been marching up steadily for the last several months. It's really getting pretty close to just normal times now. Of those 595 homes in inventory, 102 of them are already pending. Well, 102 is 17% of 595. So our pending ratio is 17%. Now we have been running in the 20s. Now we dipped below 20. So as the inventory levels begin to increase, and the volume's doing pretty well, but we're getting fewer under contract as a percentage. And so now we have moved from a buyer's market to a strong buyer's market. Again, a message to you sellers out there. COVID's over. Not only is it a buyer's market now, it's a strong buyer's market. And when you look at that across price points, it's across the board. Now, let me explain the chart. So the blue lines, the blue bars down here at the bottom, that's the number of homes that have sold in that price point. hundreds and 200s, there's really not much to speak of going on there. I really should take those off the chart. I keep saying that, but one of these days I'm really going to do it, I promise. The rest of these this is the pending ratio for homes in that price point. So the 300s, the 600s, a marginal buyer's market, it's pretty much a strong or extreme buyer's market in all other price points. This whole curve went down almost 10%. I mean, it was I think it was the mid high 20s. Now we're at 17 overall. And yeah, it is definitely a buyer's market, strong buyer's market. How long does it take for homes to sell? Well, only about 3.9 months. It actually went down. These statistics are kind of weird, but we were looking at 4 months. Now it's 3.9, so essentially unchanged. We did see some speed up in escrows in Prescott. I think this was over 1 last month. Now it's under 1. Usually it runs about 1, usually 30 days for an escrow. Looking at the same thing for Prescott Valley. Not much has changed. Still balanced. We're at a 33% pending ratio. I think it was 32 or 31 last month. I mean, it really has not changed much. This was, I think, 260. It may have gone up just marginally. So Prescott Valley is kind of in a fixed mode. The news there is not changing. Looking at the same analysis by price point, again, 100s, 200s, not much going on there. Most of the action is here between the 3s and the 6s. Kind of all over the map. I wouldn't give too much credence to 800s, 900s, million plus, because we're not talking about a whole lot of homes. So we've got a balanced market in the 400s and the 700s, kind of in the 300s. 5s and 6s is a strong buyer's market. So kind of mixed out in PV. It's taking about 2.4 months for homes to sell there. That's marginally a little better than last month. Escrow is running a little bit longer. So this is essentially unchanged. So highlights for the month. Prescott prices are down 1% this month, year over year at negative 3%. Actually, it's negative 2.5%. PV prices are unchanged, year over year at negative 5%. Prescott volumes are running 2% higher than last year, but PV volumes are running still 22% lower, but that's an improvement. Prescott is now at a 17% pending ratio, which is a strong buyer's market. And PV is still hovering in the 30s, 33, which is a balanced market. And homes are going under contract in about 3.9 months in Prescott, 2.4 in PV. Look, if you like this kind of stuff, we got lots more for you in the Prescott Home Value Report. This is just a summary. We go into specific subdivisions and just a whole bunch of stuff. So lots of slicing and dicing. So I would encourage you to download that report and get it in full. We update this report every month, but it is not the only report we do. We also have what we call the Appraiser's Eye View, which is the last 6 months of the latest comps. And it's broken out by subdivision. In fact, Prescott Lakes, we break it out by neighborhood. So it's very, very detailed. This is an example of what you'll see in the chart. This would be a subdivision. It's sorted by price per square foot, the number of months that it took the home to sell, square footage, the year it was built, how many stories, how many acres, and whether the listing agent is reporting the home having a view or not. Using this, you can look at all the different comps that occurred. You can see the average down here. So using this, it's a really good tool to figure out what you should be paying for a home or where you might want to price a home that you are selling. So a really cool tool. We even have a video which goes through how to use this information to come up with value estimates for homes. We do a whole lot of tools like this, all of them really very cool for both buyers and sellers. And one thing I should point out is you can't get these from any place else. These are exclusive You can only get them from the Prescott Pickle Lady.
And all of this is part of our page. We call it Prescott by the Numbers, or more commonly, the Pickle page. So if you're on the Pickle page, you know the Pickle page. But if you're not the Pickle page, well, you should get to the Pickle page. And you do that by subscribing. We update it every month. If you subscribe, we will send you a monthly email update with the link so you can go download all the reports that you want. Even if you're not all that interested in getting every single month, just having access to these tools will give you a real leg up when it comes to the real estate game. I hope you found this informative and maybe slightly entertaining, and we look forward to seeing you next month.
Please take a moment to look below and find the button that'll take you to the Pickle page. We'll see you there.